I this putting the gas tank up in here. This is just I put it in the other day just to see how close this fits, and it's pretty good. It could be that way, just like a quarter of an inch, so I might heat up at the place where the corner is, where it's extra strong. I'll heat it up red and then just pull that back just a smidgen. But I have to decide where I'm going to put my straps. I think I'll use this one. Oh yeah, the undercoating is dripping out. Wherever there's a panel, it drips out. It's actually quite dry on the surface. But anyway, I'll be putting straps here. And this one's in the middle because the tank used to stop right here because of the spare tire. So I'm not going to use that. I'll just drill a hole in the 16th plate and put my strap going up to that over about here type thing. So it's more in the holding it a little better instead of all off to one side. So the tank does have to come back down. And also I have to put the sending unit in, and that'll have to be recessed down in the top, because the little screw that sticks up for the wire will hit the trunk. So in this 1/8 inch, 16th inch plate I've got on there, that's where I'll drill my 2 holes and hang my, there's what I'm using. It's 1 inch by 1/8 of an inch. So it's real metal. But anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that the tank is going to be quite a fair amount of time. Here's my old sending unit. It's hardly recognizable. So anyway, but that gave me my measurement and what it kind of looks like. But I ordered a new one, and it'll be here by the end of the month. So that's like a week and a half away. So I can't really do anything until I have my sending unit, so I can fit it in and recess it down in and weld it, and also weld any spots that look like a pinhole or a dark spot in the weld. So I'll be touching it with, I'll be making a video when I do that, and then I'll have to take it back to Chad's and have some welding done. Same as the corners I had to trim. I'll show you if I can get in here. Right up there, I cut that corner out so that there'd be room here for the exhaust. And I did the same on the other side. So in case I put an exhaust on that side. Because if I decide to put two, exhaust on the other side, I don't want the tank in the way. So I'm making the accommodations at the same time. But yeah, there's the screen that goes on the end of that. So anyway, it gave me a good idea of what it's supposed to look like. And the tank, the original tank, you can see it's in pretty rough shape, but this sat in about right here, because this is where the gas line originally went. So where it ripside this filler, I'm going to have to, I think what I'm going to do is cut this section out of the tank and build a box to put it in that's that much lower than the tank, and have holes drilled in it so it'll act as a buffer around this sending unit. So when the gas sloshes, the tank won't go up and down, the gauge won't go back and forth. And also I have to have the line come out here or anywhere here, but it has to be sunk down in, because I don't want to drop the tank on the car, because it'll be visible from behind. And the tank's 6 inches thick, and this tank is 6 inches thick. And if I drop it 3/4 of an inch, you'll be able to see the bottom of that tank from behind. So, and I don't want that. So I'll be recessing it. Plus, that'll give me a, well, it'll dirty up the tank a little bit, but I plan on flushing it out. And I also plan on having all the little spots welded again. And then I'll be painting outside, and then I'll put air pressure in it and have a bucket of soapy water and put a little, like 2 or 3 pounds air pressure in it, and paint the outside with soapy water to see if I have any holes, and if I do, then they get welded up. I think the air blowing out through a little crack or a pinhole with soapy water on the outside making bubbles will be just as thorough as gasoline in there, because water, I found in my past working on these gas tanks, if you fill them full of water, you can fill them full of water and have no leaks, and then drain it and flush it out with a little bit of alcohol and blow it out, let dry, and put your gas in, and 2 days later you can have a couple pinholes, because gas will come out where water won't come out, or that's my experience anyway. But anyway, with the tank, by the time I have the tank completely done, painted on the outside and ready to go in the car, I'm going to pour a fiberglass red inner coat, like coating it in it, and flip it back and forth and do the procedure, and then pour it out. So it'll, a tank coat, I guess it's called, but it's really toxic stuff, and you're supposed to be 100 degrees for a month to make it dry. But winter's coming, and I won't be running the car this winter, so when I put all this in, like in another couple weeks or so, when I get my gas sending unit, and put all this tank goo coat inside and drain it out and let it dry for a few days, then I can put it on the car and not put any gas in it for the winter, because this fiberglass red tank coating, it's old school. It's not the modern stuff. It's pretty toxic stuff. You don't want to put gas in it until it's dry. So when you take the cap off and you can't smell it, it's dry. So by next spring, it'll be dry and I'll be good to go. But right now I'm at a standstill. I don't have my sending unit to fit it into the tank. And as I said, I'll be cutting, in my new tank, I'll be cutting a big square out and dropping the whole square down 1/2 inch at least, and then welding a little, like a collar all the way around it that welds back into the tank, and that'll give me this groove. Plus it'll give me the drop for this to sit down in here, because that's supposed to sit down about 3/4 of an inch from the top of the tank, and that gives it enough room to miss that screw on the bottom of the tank, or bottom of the trunk. And I could just run rubber here and space it down an extra 3/4 of an inch, but I don't want the tank to be any lower, so that's no problem. Anyway, yeah, see you later.